Hi, I'm Tom. In this lesson I'm going to go over the basics of fretting hand technique. This video follows along from my last lesson on posture, so please make sure you watch that one first. As I mentioned in my last video, it's important we have correct hand placement to prevent muscle strain or injury. Position your thumb in the middle of the neck to create a T shape. This lets us attack each note with our fingertips. Using this position, it requires less effort to press down the strings, and it should make those first notes easier to play. In my videos, and in other guitar lessons in general, you may have heard people refer to first position or seventh position. This basically lets us know whereabouts in the guitar we're going to be playing. These exercises are going to be in the third position. Whatever number comes before position is the fret on which we place our first finger. Each finger after that rests on one fret up at a time. In this case we're in the third position, so our first finger's on the third fret, our middle finger on the fourth, ring finger on the fifth, and little finger on the sixth. Whenever we're instructed to play a note on any of these frets, we use the corresponding finger. This way we can be more economical in our playing without jumping all over the place. For example, here's a simple minor scale, played with one finger. Here's the same example played with the correct fingers in the third position. As you can see, it requires a lot less movement to stay in position than it does to use one or two fingers. If we need to play notes that don't fall into our playing position, in this case anything below 3rd fret or above 6th fret, then we just simply move position. In this case we start in the 3rd position, then as we move on to the next strings we move into the 5th position, and finally all the way up to the 8th position. When you start playing you might find that you don't hear the notes properly. Instead of sounding like this, they sound like this. This is common for all beginners, and it's easily solved by taking another look at your finger placement. In this case our finger is on the left side of the fretting space. To get a much stronger sound we need to move to the right side. The closer we are to the right side of the fretting space without being on top of the fret, the clearer the sound will be. If you're still experiencing some difficulty getting the notes to sound right, you should try pressing just a little harder with your fingertips. If this doesn't solve the problem, it may be something to do with your picking hand. Take a look at my other video, Picking Hand Basics, and see if that helps. Now we know where our fingers should be on the fretboard and how we put them down, I'm going to play a simple exercise that you can practice to strengthen your fingers. You'll probably find that you can play notes clearly with your first finger, but the further down your hand you go, the weaker your fingers get. This is the first of many hurdles you may face while learning the guitar, and it can be frustrating to new players. If you practice this exercise slowly for around 5 minutes a day, you'll notice improvements in no time. The first thing you need to do is pick a position to start in. I'm going to be using the 5th position to show you this exercise, but you could do it in the 3rd or wherever you feel comfortable across the neck.
We're going to start on the low E string and play a note with our first finger, then move one fret up and play a note with our second, and so on. When we get to our 4th finger, we're going to move on to the next string and start all over again. You should continue this until you get to the 4th finger on the high E string. Then you simply reverse the whole thing, moving from 4th to 3rd, 3rd to 2nd, 2nd to 1st, and then back to the 4th finger on the string below. Repeat this until you get back to where you first started.
This is sometimes called the spider exercise, and as you can probably tell it doesn't sound very good. It is, however, a great practice tool, and as I mentioned before, playing through it slowly around 5 minutes a day will really help your finger strength and dexterity. Thanks for watching. Feel free to have a look at my picking hand video if you haven't already. I have a whole series of videos planned, so please subscribe if you found this helpful. See you soon.